Mike Bond here, joined today by former UFC welterweight champion Robbie Lawler, who returns to the octagon against Nick Diaz, a highly anticipated rematch, UFC 266, September 25th. Robbie, this is a big one, man. This has been a highly anticipated fight for a really long time. Just how excited are you a couple weeks out now?
Training camp's been great. Yeah, it's one of those fights that gets me training. As soon as they let me know about it, I was in the gym working out, and got me a little excited, I guess.
Yeah, and I was down there at Sanford in April and we spoke, and you said you were kind of itching to return, but nothing had really come that made sense at that point. When they came to you with this, what was your first reaction? Because this is a fight I think people obviously have been talking about for a long time, but Nick Diaz has not been active for the last like half decade, so it didn't really, seem realistic at that point. So when they actually, come to you with this offer, were you surprised at all?
A little bit, but it is what it is. They offered it to me, and I'm like, all right, let's get ready. Start focusing on get myself ready, get my body in shape.
Yeah, and a lot of people say like it doesn't feel real until they see Nick in the octagon. I mean, what's the preparation been like for you this camp, just fighting, getting ready for someone who we haven't seen in so long?
Just kind of the same as usual. My coaches and training partners do a good job of trying to imitate and put me in situations that they think I'll be in this fight versus Nick. So I just focus on being in shape, get my body, make sure I'm feel good, and just kind of focusing on myself.
Yeah, of course. And I mean, obviously he's been away for a long time, but I think the Diaz fundamentals are kind of always what, they are: pressure, boxing, all that kind of stuff. So even though it's been a really long time, I imagine, he's not going to show up and be some completely brand new fighter that's doing things we've never seen from him before. Is that kind of how you feel as well?
No, I think he's been training this whole time. I think he's a guy who likes to dabble, help his brother out. Obviously, he's really good at jiu-jitsu and has a good jiu-jitsu game as well as boxing. So he's definitely going to come in shape and bring his tools and try to beat my ass.
When did the 5 rounds come into play? Was that something that came, immediately when they brought the fight to you, that, this is the offer, it's 5 rounds, or was that something that developed as the negotiations kind of evolved?
No, I'm pretty sure that it was established right away. So I'm not sure what went on their end, but that's how it was brought to me in the first place.
And you were obviously cool with it. I know, this is becoming it's a very rare thing, a non-title fight, not a main event, being a 5 rounder. I know Nate and Leon Edwards just did it, but it's still something very unusual for the UFC.
Yeah, I think it's just a big fight. I think it is what it is to me. It's just a fight. Like, get ready. I fought 25 minutes before, so got to be ready.
Yeah, do you think that's to your advantage here? I mean, you're obviously very used to, pacing yourself through all those title fights you had. For him to come back after, 6+ years and go straight into a 5 rounder with you, who's been doing a lot of them in his absence, do you think that plays to your benefit here?
Um, I feel good. It doesn't really matter, but I think he's going to be in shape, ready to go 25 minutes. It's just his makeup. He comes to fight. He likes to push pace, and he's going to be, he can go 25.
Yeah, no doubt about that. And the third rematch of your career, you're 2-0 so far, but this is, quite different from the Johnny Hendricks or the Robbie Lawler scenarios where those fights were relatively close together. I mean, when you look back and, think of the first fight with him, is there anything at all you can take away from that at this point? Or, 16 years, just way, way too long?
No, just kind of the way he moves and just the obviously we were very young at that time. He took the fight to me, hit me with some good shots, and wasn't my night. But I've grown a whole bunch. He's developed his skills, so it's a different fight. Same guys, just a little different.
Yeah. And would you, I mean, I'm sure if you haven't already, once you get to Las Vegas and on fight week, you're going to see, the highlights and that footage of you two as, like you said, young kids back then. What when you do see that stuff, what kind of memories come to mind? I mean, do you like, is it a little nostalgic? Or are you just like looking at that and be like, wow, I can't believe it's been this long? When you see that old footage come up, what kind of thoughts come to mind?
Nothing really. I mean, I still feel young, but obviously it's been a long time. A lot of things have changed. Uh, Totally different era. Uh, I mean, a little bit more hair, a little younger.
That is very true. It's crazy though. I mean, the longest break between a first and second fight the UFC's ever done in booking this rematch. So it's pretty wild how long you guys have come. And I mean, not trying to continue to date you here or anything, but I was kind of doing some research, and you two are two of the last three fighters left in the UFC that ever had a fight in Pride. It's you, Nick Diaz, and Shogun Hua, the last guys in the UFC that had at least one Pride fight. That's pretty remarkable as well.
Yeah, it's a pretty cool stat. Been doing this for a long time. Just happy to be able to do what I love and compete at a high level.
Yeah, I mean it's amazing how long you guys have been around, and what I mean. Obviously, this fight such an anticipated one, but what are the kind of the goals for you right now? I know you're always a take it fight by fight guy, but I remember when I was down there in Sanford and I was talking to your manager Dave Martin, and he said, Robbie at this stage wants things that get him fired up. He's not just gonna come in here and obviously you train, but in terms of fighting, you want something that makes sense. So I assume this one kind of ticked off all the boxes for you, right?
Yeah, definitely. It's one of those things where I'm trying to create a little bit more balance. I'm at a point in my life where I want to spend time with my family and do those types of things. So it's got to be a big name to kind of have me focus on myself and be a little selfish and get ready for a fight. So if he's a big name, I'm excited for it.
Yeah, and you have all these guys already kind of calling him out, like Jorge Masvidal and some of these other top names in the sport. You go out there and beat him. Do you expect to, the conversation to flip a little bit and to be, involved in more of those big fights and have those guys calling you out instead?
I have no idea because I don't really pay attention to what anyone's saying. I don't really get on social media, so it would fall on deaf ears.
Fair enough. I'm curious. You're in South Florida. Are you going to go up to the Triller fight on Saturday night? Any interest in watching Vitor Belfort box or Evander Holyfield or Anderson Silva box Tito Ortiz?
Oh, I had no idea that's even going on. I'm just kind of
Really?
focusing on myself. So no, I'm not going. I'm not traveling. Where is that fight?
It's at the Seminole Hard Rock, just up there in Hollywood, Florida.
Okay,
So like not.
that's not too far away from me at all. Probably not because I don't want to be up that late, but you never know, right?
It's a pretty early start. I mean, that's crazy. You didn't even know that's happening. What do you think about that Vitor Belfort boxing a 58-year-old Evander Holyfield? It's a pro fight, 8 rounds, all that kind of stuff. I know you know the combat sports game well. It was originally going to be Vitor and Oscar De La Hoya, but Oscar De La Hoya had COVID, so Evander Holyfield stepped in on a week's notice. Pretty crazy.
That's a huge difference between Oscar De La Hoya and Holyfield size wise. I think Holyfield. I mean, obviously Belfort keeps himself in good shape, but we'll see if he took that fight on short notice. I think he's been working, so we'll see.
Yeah, pretty crazy the stuff they're doing over there. I imagine in terms of like non-related to you, are you more excited this weekend for the NFL starting? I imagine that has you a little more pumped than the boxing fights.
No, I haven't even been paying attention to any sports.
No.
I watch some soccer with my son, and that's about it. And train. Not too much time for other things right now.
Interesting. Yeah, I thought you were a big NFL guy. Maybe I was wrong.
Oh, I was. It was one of those things that it was like taxing on my time, like doing the fantasy football and like all those things. And I'm like, why do I need to like decipher defenses and schemes? Like, what I'm wasting my time like breaking down offenses and defenses around the league. So I'm like, just kind of focusing on myself and my family. I can't help myself when I watch sports. It's like I analyze, and so I decided not to do so much.
Fair enough. Yeah, you just do your thing. And I want to ask you, of course, about Killcliff, one of your main sponsors. You look at your social media; they get tons of love from you. Obviously, they help set up this interview. Really appreciate that. Just tell me, about their involvement. And I know they support not only you, but the Sanford MMA gym. And there's a lot of support from that company behind what you're doing and the people you're involved with.
Oh, it's an awesome company based built by some Navy SEALs. So it's kind of a nice community, kind of fighting community is a team sport. I mean, obviously we're out there as individuals, but it takes a lot of guys and a lot of teammates to get me where I want to be. So it's just a good opportunity to be with Killcliff. They've helped sponsor the gym, sponsor some fighters, and given us clean energy. There's not too many really good drinks out there that you can drink and you don't feel terrible. It's just awesome to be a part of the company.
Yeah, it's definitely true. They actually, when they set me up with an interview earlier this year, they sent me some of their product. I'm not just saying this because you're on with me, and they helped hook this up. That everything you say there is true. Like it's a really great clean energy drink, and I'm not kind of a guy who drinks like coffee or energy drinks or anything like that. But
Yeah,
when are you gonna get like? Sorry, go ahead.
I like the green tea caffeine. It's a little smoother with the ginseng and some vitamins in it, but it's just like a cleaner, smoother like energy, I guess, with no like crash, which is really nice for training.
Yeah, when are you gonna get your own like signature can? I saw like Rogan has one and Izzy has one. When's the Robbie Lawler one coming out?
I have no idea. I'm not too worried about those things. Just focusing on getting myself ready for fights.
Yeah, of course. And you have one of the biggest ones coming up to date, and I'll let you go here in a sec. I know we kind of touched on it. You being in there with Nick, it's been a long time, a lot of anticipation. What do you kind of see the actual fight playing out? I mean, I know you guys have been in the sport a really long time, but I feel like just so many unknowns with Nick. Obviously, this is a really important fight for you with the way the last few have gone. So, like, what do you kind of think this actually looks like on September 25th?
I think it's going to be an exciting fight. Nick always comes to fight. He looks to get in your face. I mean, he's a really good counter puncher. He's in shape. He can do it all too. I mean, good ground game, good stand up. So, and he comes to fight and he's in shape. So I need to go out there and make sure I'm crisp and sharp and getting in there and getting my blows in.
Yeah, and I know you're a super even keel guy. It's important to you not to get too high, not to get too low. Like you said, you focus on what the task at hand is. But can you say, like, will this win mean something special to you? So many years back, the first time you got stopped with strikes in a fight, to be able to avenge that all these years later on this platform, will that one, feel a little extra good for you, do you think?
Yeah, probably not. I mean, it's been so long. I mean, he's a big name. I mean, getting a fight, getting a win versus him, it doesn't really matter what happened in the past. I mean, just 17 years later, it's almost like it never happened. But I'm excited for the fight. I've been training hard. That's about it.
There you go, Robbie. Well, appreciate the time. I do think, obviously they could have gone a lot of different ways with Nick Diaz's return fight. I think this is the right fight to make, and I think a lot of people in the MMA community agree. So, yeah, hope the last couple weeks here are amazing for you, and safe trip to Las Vegas and everything. And really appreciate the time, Robbie. It's always great to catch up.
Yep. Thank you.